thought or a story with who would that be?
Well, to my knowledge, I'm probably one of the only musicians that has worked with Jerry Mulligan, the Village People, Johnny Winter, Rita Moreno, and Governor Lester Maddox.
Well, you sort of gotten around after these years, too.
Who actually really did do a nightclub act.
He'll play for anybody.
He'll play for anybody.
Just bring the check.
So, tell us more about some of your insights or some of your great playing with Lee Shapiro right here with the Hitmen.
And the other
where
guys.
you play, what you're
Well,
doing, where you're going, what's going on. And
I knew all the other guys individually and collectively. We had worked together in the studio on a bunch of things and live. As a matter of fact, Lee, we were discussing earlier, we were discussing Sayreville, New Jersey, where you're from. Right? And Lee and I met at Club Benet playing for Uncle Floyd.
Oh, Uncle Floyd's show.
So that's
I remember
how Lee
Uncle
and I
Floyd.
met.
Well, because I went to grammar school with all the Levinos and grew up in their house with Floyd and Jerry and Jimmy, and we're all from Glen Rock, New Jersey.
Kind of like a small world.
the
People
Levinos.
from
Exactly.
Northern
Very,
Jersey,
very
right?
close. Like brothers.
So, what was it like working with the Village People?
Oh my goodness. He was the accountant.
Well, people, it's funny you should say that. I mean, we would go to places like, my first gig with them was in New York. It was December 1981 was my first show with them in New York. We went immediately to South Africa to do a 2-week residency down there.
Well, that must have been a lot
And
of
people
fun.
would ask me, which one are you? Which one are you? And my standard response was either the plumber or the systems analyst.
And you've had so many interesting people, whether you like Jimmy Page or whether you like...
I saw them when I was a kid. I saw Zeppelin in Central Park.
Yeah, I know.
$1.50.
I remember
that was
you
the
told
good
me that. It
seats.
was about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I remember that,
Yeah.
that story. And when was that again? That was like about, how many years ago?
It was '69. It was the old Schaefer Festival at the Woolman Rink. And B.B. King was the opening act back when there were opening acts for Led Zeppelin. It wasn't long after that none were required.
Interesting.
I saw Hendrix when I was a kid. And my dad would drive me there because I was 14 when at the Fillmore East my dad didn't want me to...
Smoke pot?
Well, he didn't want me to be on public
Is that what the words
transportation,
you were
for one
looking
thing.
Hey, let me ask you something. Did you see the interview where Dan Rather interviewed Frankie Valli?
Yes, I did see that.
That was pretty good,
He's
right?
doing a really, really good job. But I mean, one of the greatest things about a guy like Dan Rather is he's always done his homework no matter who he's talking to.
And here it is, Howard Stern. You see him interview Paul McCartney. That was nice. And the relationship between Lennon and
Lovely.
Yoko Ono.
Lovely.
There you
Yeah.
go. But he's doing exactly, he's being him. That's what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
But you were asking me about playing with Lee and the Hitmen.
Yes.
I mean, everything about the Hitmen appeals to everything I grew up wanting to know about. And to deal with a band with this kind of firepower in it, vocally and instrumentally, it just makes me really want to forensically analyze all of the music that we play and play it as good as possible. And you know what? Frankly, one of the reasons I came up with the idea for Lee's record is I just wanted to get out of the way and let the music be the thing that got to the people, because like Lee had mentioned before, it was not the easiest sell. Hey Lee, I think you should do an album of it. Nah. Hey Lee, I think nah. Okay. And people really are responding to it in an extremely positive way.
I'm very proud of it, but I also want to take a second, being that we're hitmanning. Being that we're talking about the Hitmen, I do want to mention the other guys. When Jerry Pulci, another one of the Four Seasons, left to get married and kind of retire from the road, we didn't know what we were going to do. But Russ Velasquez, who was our keyboard 2 percussionist, lead vocalist, had a friend named Steve Murphy. Turns out Steve Murphy replaced Jerry, and now we can do songs. Because the Hitmen only do songs that we were a part of or have some history with. And Steve was on the Happy Together tour, and he also worked with members of Foreigner and Journey and all this stuff. He just came off the road with Steve O'Jerry from Journey, Jimmy Ryan, Carly Simon, Elton John, Paul McCartney. Jeffrey's credits, Russ Velasquez, the Ramones, Chicago, Luther Vandross, Michael Bolton. So our set list runs real deep, and I'm very proud of it. And I just wanted to say that all of us are getting the same thing out of this kind of resurgence, and that is, thank God that people recognize that this music is worth keeping alive and worth reliving the experiences that we all did as kids. Teddy, you remember as a child, you must have lived through this stuff.
I lived through all this stuff on the AM transistor radio.
Right?
That's where I found my music.
That's
Most
right.
of the time.
WMCA, WABC.
ABC, right. And when are you going to come back with the Hitmen sometime in the near future?
Soon.
Or
Jeffrey
Charlie
Dean.
Colella's
I will be happy
with the
to.
book, right?
Well, we're going to come back. I want to see Charlie Colello, and I want to see
Tom Austin.
Tom Austin.
Tom Austin is a great guy, ex-partner of Gaudio way back in the day, and a nice man. But we're going to be local. I'd love for people to come see the Hitmen. We're going to be at the Mayo Center in Morristown, New Jersey. When is that, Jeffrey? Do you
That
have it?
will be on Saturday, April 20th.
April 20th.
Yeah, so
okay.
please, it'll be spring. The snow will be gone. I don't
That's
hear
a
any
great
excuses.
place.
But if you
Great
feel
place.
like driving a few miles,
Then
sooner
it's-
than that, we will be at the Mohegan Sun on Friday, October 12th.
That's
We'll
right.
be at the
Mohegan
State
Sun
Theater
in-
in Easton,
Come to
Connecticut.
Mohegan Sun.
Connecticut, not Wilkes-Barre.
Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Yeah.
Right, beautiful downtown Uncasville.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
But what I also wanted to mention about the Hitmen specifically is that it's composed of fully formed musicians that play guitar, fully formed musicians that are world-class drummers and singers, fully formed musicians that play the keyboard and arrange. So what you're seeing is not necessarily indicative of what everybody does and what can do, because we've always been like silent servants for other people. And I kind of like it that way. I kind of like it that I can go to 7-Eleven and not be accosted by people.
I'm costing you anyway, Jeff. I always have and I always will. But no, the great thing for me being in the Hitmen, and I formed it with Don Ciccone 8 years ago it is already, I can't believe it. But it's that when I go out on stage, I don't have to think about, you know what it's like? It's like playing with those old Music -1 records where you lay your part in. The other four guys in this band are so good, and frankly, I think so much better than I am, that all I have to do is show up, lay my part in, and it'll be magic. Like the people are reliving the session, because that's how we all want to play. We don't want to grandstand to move away from the arrangement and not sound like the record. We want to recreate it, and as a result of that, all I got to do is play what I played, and the other guys do it. And it's such a joy to have five guys whose intentions and mindset and musical taste is all pointing in the same direction, and that is, let's make this sound like the record.
So where can people order your CD? They just go online like
The
everyone
best
else
place to
does?
go for that'd be
Amazon?
great. Oh, this gets to be a double plug. Check this out. We go to facebook.com/The Hitmen Live, and then click on store, and buy it direct, because that way it's cheaper.
I just want to make sure that I got that part in by the end.
You know, I appreciate that. And in
You know.
case you didn't hear me over there, Teddy, because I know you have the headphones on, facebook.com/The Hitmen Live, and click on where it says store. Also click on where it says like. I mean, what the hell? We like you, so like us.
And we like you, Lee Shapiro.
Thank you for having me
down
here.
here
See you
tonight.
next month.
You'll see me next
with Charlie
month.
Colella.
I can't wait, Charlie, my
That should be
teacher, my
some-
guru.
I can't wait to read the book.
He is as good as you think, and better.
Thanks to Jim Petrecca, James Petrecca Production.
Absolutely. I have to thank all of you guys for thinking of me and calling me, having me come in and get to toot my horn once in a while. And
Now
for
we're
this
going to do
time,
some
including Jeff.
exercise with Frank Jekyll.
Oh, I love that. Let's do it.
Simon Says here at
I
WPAT
love it.
Radio.
I love you guys. Thank you all.